MJ, for your report.
All right, so hello everyone, and thank you for joining us virtually and being so flexible despite our rather inclement weather. Today, I'll be updating the Board of Education and the public about updates in the community average high school. First, I wanted to give some shout out to our student government. We have been utilizing our student feedback to broach a lot of these suggestions. We would also like to thank the Board of Education for taking our comments and inputs about Lunar New Year. I think we covered it a little last month in December about maybe reconsidering our district calendar and then giving students a platform to speak about their experiences with the holiday. And I also see that Evelyn has also joined the meeting. So a special shout out to our student representatives, Rupert, Evelyn, and Claire, who really took the forefront of this initiative to make Lunar New Year. And other than that, we also met with Mr. Fackelman, who leads the facilities department, to bring a lot of student suggestions regarding having air fresheners, fixing certain faucet batteries, and suggestions on mitigating vandalism in school bathrooms. And we also greatly thank Mr. Fackelman for his receptiveness. We also reached out to Mr. Warner and the Bernards Township Police Department to station our crossing guards until 8:20 in the morning. Right now, a lot of students arrive after the 8:15 mark, so making sure that crossing guards are staying there for longer will lead to a greater feeling of safety for parents and students. The school-wide government has also been meeting with class representatives to ensure that every grade, especially juniors and seniors, have raised an adequate amount of funding. We are also planning to meet with Mr. Thompson soon to discuss if there are any ways to bring back like some form of wellness days for students and potential incentives for students to participate more in school spirit activities. In addition, I'd also like to take this time to update the public and the board on activities that happened within Rich High School. We recently had 4 school records in our Rich track and field team in our 1600 school record, our 200, our 300, and our distance medley school record. Our girls fencing team also got second overall at the Centellus tournament, which is the largest high school fencing competition in the world. In addition, our Rich High School hockey team is now taking a moment to honor Dave Hansen, who is a dedicated coach who unfortunately passed away. We're competing against Westmore Central in the Dave Hansen Memorial Hockey Game on January 30th. I hope a lot of the members of the public can join us on that day. We are incredibly proud of our sports team for using their athleticism to also commemorate and honor coaches like Dave Hansen, who make our sports possible. In addition, our Rich High School has continued to fund, support, and showcase the arts, especially through our recent winter dance showcase last Friday at the Performing Arts Center. The theme of these dances revolved around Disney's villains and heroes. As a student representative for Rich High School, I also want to have a special shout out to our celebration and commemoration of New Jersey Muslim Heritage Month. Last week, Rich High School students took a moment to celebrate our cultural diversity and recognize the contributions of the Muslim community. Thank you to all the families who brought in potato samosas, desserts, and other appetizers for this Muslim heritage celebration. In terms of academic achievement, our New Jersey Math League's 4th contest just took place. Our school is currently tied for first place in the entire Somerset County. Our Rich Speech and Debate Forensics team also placed highly in national tournaments, like Lexington and Durham tournaments, in addition to championing statewide tournaments like Hunterdon and Freehold. I'm incredibly excited to see what we can accomplish as a community in our next few months. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions in the duration of the meeting, and thank you everyone for listening to our school updates.
Thanks, MJ, and congratulations to you. I know you're a part of the forensics team. I do also want to point out that, because you brought up the calendar, that for anybody who is wondering, that at the February policy meeting, that is when the calendar and the Lunar New Year discussion will take place. And so I would say probably by the second meeting in February, we'll have more information. Does anybody else have any questions for MJ? Okay. That brings us up to our superintendent's report. We have 5 items, one also being our board goals. Mr. Markarian, is there anything that you want to share about any of the items?
No, I don't think so. I think we had an opportunity to have some discussion on the board goals. So we're in good shape with those. The rest are standard items.
Okay. Then can I get a motion? Brett and Smriti, and then a roll call.
Ms. White,
Yes.
Dr. McCune, Mr. Molinari,
Yes.
Ms. Corrado,
Yes.
Mr. Shaw,
Yes.
Mr. Talbot,
Yes.
Mr. Omalanik,
Yes.
Ms. Mohan,
Yes.
and Mr. Lefkowitz.
Yes.
Okay. And that now does bring us to our first public comment on agenda items. And
Ms. White, we have 2 people with their hands up.
okay,
Well-
I only can see, do you want to call them? Because the way the tiles work, I can only see.
One put their hand down. So we have Oscar Liu currently has
Okay.
his hand up. If you'd like to unmute yourself, Oscar.
No, it's okay.
Oscar, you're
Yeah.
on. You're up. If you'd like to make a comment.
Oh yeah, no, nothing. It's fine.
Okay, you can mute yourself again then. And then there's 2 other people. We have Hao Zhang. Would you like to? Hi.
Hi, 3 minutes, right? Sure.
Correct.
So, yeah, thank you, everyone. My name is Hao Zhang. I'm a resident of Nar Township. I live in 6 Queenberry Way in Basking Ridge. Okay. Both of my kids go to the public school here. I actually moved here in 2021. So since then, I have been very impressed with many things about the district. It proves that my move to this township was the right decision. So this being said, right, so one thing that I was not impressed with is the fact that the Lunar New Year is not a designated school holiday here. I mean, to be honest, I was a bit surprised. In my old township, Addison Township, which was a school holiday, so is with the many neighboring townships. And I believe the entire New York State has Lunar New Year as a school holiday, right? So, so why so many districts have Lunar New Year as a school holiday? There are many reasons, right? So first and foremost, because it is widely observed by many, it is observed by almost 1.5 billion people across many countries in East Asia, not just China, but also countries like Vietnam, Korea, Singapore, Malaysia, right? And it is a holiday that combines many religions like Buddhism, Taoism, and also many philosophies like Confucius, across like 5,000 years of history, right? So in that sense, for us, as an Asian American immigrant, right? And for us, this is almost like a connecting tissue mentally, right? So no matter where we are, during the Lunar New Year, we want to get together, we want to get home, right? So that's why making this a school holiday will really mean a lot to us, right? So, so for us Asian Americans, right, as an immigrant group, we have developed into many healthy and vibrant communities across the country. So Bernard Township actually is a good example of that, right? Where we have a generally highly educated East Asian community, and that is also fast growing and increasingly active in local affairs and politics, right? So this is a true reflection of America as a melting pot where diversity, inclusion, and cultural understandings are acknowledged and celebrated. So this is, I think, a key reason that many school districts across New Jersey and the nation have recognized this Lunar New Year as an official school holiday. So here I am on behalf of myself and hopefully many of my neighbors in the township. I'm respectively asking the board to consider, to take the important step that many other school districts have already taken, right, to make Lunar New Year a designated school holiday. So thank you very much, everyone, for your time and consideration and your continued effort to serve the district and the families of the district. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We have Charlie Zhu has his hand up for a comment.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Charlie.
All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Charlie Shree. I live in 61 Butternut Lane, and I'm a student at William Ann Middle School here. Thank you for this opportunity. I'm here to respectfully advocate for Bernards Township to recognize Lunar New Year as an official school break. Lunar New Year is one of the most widely celebrated holidays in the world, observed by over 2 million people globally, including me, Chinese, Korean, and Vietnamese cultures. Here at home in Bernards Township, over 37% of our population celebrates it. And for these students and families, it is as meaningful as other major holidays, such as Eid or Rosh Hashanah, where our district already has breaks for them. It's a time for ceremonial meals, traditions, and family gatherings. Although some have questioned this recognition because Lunar New Year isn't considered a strictly religious holiday, it is important to note that it holds religious significance for Buddhists, Taoists, and Confucianists. But more importantly, religion should not be the only measure for a school holiday, because we should recognize holidays for the profound cultural and communal significance, and Lunar New Year deeply meets that standards. This is about fairness and representation. There's also a practical and educational case for this change. Neighboring districts like Bridgewater, Warren, and Summit already closed for Lunar New Year, and they did so because attendance was consistently low, making instruction ineffective for students that day. So recognizing this day aligns directly to our district's commitment of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and it sends a powerful message to every single student that their cultural identity is seen, respected, and valued, not just in words, but in practice. The academic impact will be minimal. Lunar New Year occurs once a year, and adjusting the calendar by one day would not disrupt the learning, but it would significantly support student engagement, mental health, and a true sense of belonging. This isn't about special treatment, it's about reflecting the reality of our diverse community. So by recognizing Lunar New Year as a school break, Bernards Township would take a meaningful step towards true inclusivity, respect, and educational equity. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next would be David Ding, who has his hand up. David, you can unmute yourself.
Yep. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for having this meeting, for allowing us to explain our opinion. So my name is David Ding. I am at the 27 Vanderveer Drive on the Hills community. And my daughter and my son are all at the school districts. And myself is a professor at the Radcliffe Business School in Supply Chain Management. So I think well, first of all, I really appreciate the board to give us an opportunity to experience our opinion in terms of how we consider the Chinese Lunar New Year should be considered as official holiday for the school districts. So I do not want to repeat a lot of things the other has been saying. I know Jennifer mentioned in the second week of the second meeting in February, we're going to have another discussion for this. But when we're looking at the school districts, I did some just numeric numbers studies. That's part of my specialty. And we were looking at the percentage of Asian community within the Bernards versus Hillsborough, Bridgewater, and Warren. So we are at 37%, and the other three are 36, 30, and 23%. So the other school district within the Somerset County already considered Lunar New Year as an official holiday. For school districts, I think they definitely set an example for us to follow. And also the state of New York, as you know, that the statewide is considered Lunar New Year as an official holiday for the whole state. Of course, I don't think New Jersey at that point yet, but I think they give us the kind of set an example in terms of what other schools are considered this. And for myself as a faculty at Rutgers, I think Rutgers is one of the most diverse universities that we see all different type of populations from all the country. I think one of the aspects as an educator myself is really show respect for all those different religions and also different cultural backgrounds, and giving the population as well as the Chinese New Year or the Lunar New Year usually is just a one-day holiday, but back in China, it's actually 2 weeks official holiday for 1.4 billion peoples. So I remember what I heard was two kind of challenges. One is their potential conflicts with the schedule, with the school calendar. And I think if I can propose, I think it might be opportunity for us to swap it out with one of the service day. And I did that many times for my school calendar within Rutgers, because I, as a department vice chair, I helped manage over 100 different courses. And a lot of times, it's an opportunity for us to think about, what are other courses that we might be able to swap out. If there's a need to help, I would be more than happy to offer a hand. And another one, what I understand is that there was a consideration whether this is a cultural event versus a religious event. I think the boundary between these two is a little bit blurred in terms of what we consider the history about the Chinese Lunar New Year. Well, from Chinese perspective, is actually is an event to celebrate the good versus because year or in Chinese is considered as evil. Where when we going through the Chinese New Year, a lot of times is the celebration. We're wearing the red, and we're celebrating that we as a country or as a Chinese community by itself, that we cannot win over the evil, and through that celebration. I think with that being said, I as a parents and as a residents, I really would like to propose that the Berners Township would consider Chinese New Year or Lunar New Year as an official holiday for the school district. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oscar Liu, your turn.
Okay, yeah. My name's Oscar. I'm a freshman. So okay. Let's cut to the chase here. I'm going to skip the whole significant speech because I'm sure we've cemented this idea very clearly. So instead, I want to focus on my point of national precedent. Now, it is no surprise that precedent is a spark for change. Revolutions and reforms sparked around the world all have roots in America's fight for independence. And right now, nationally, a national precedent is fighting discrimination against Asian communities. AAPI released new research that shows an alarming surge in Asian hate online following the recent presidential election. In fact, anti-Asian slurs in Iraq increased by 67%, and anti-Asian threats have decreased by 39% just from November to December in 2025 alone. Fortunately, our school can help contribute to solving this issue nationally. Our school has demonstrated to be a very diverse and inclusive community, with many residents claiming that this is a welcome place with a strong sense of community where people are generally civil. This community also has a significant Asian population with a high concentration of Indo-Americans and Chinese Americans. These factors make us the perfect candidate for the fight on discrimination. Not to mention, our school has demonstrated this very well by taking off for many religious holidays. By taking Lunar New Year off, our school is a president of a peacekeeper and protector of the people, and our high Asian population can solidify our sincerity. Recognition is critical. For many great researchers of this area shows that systematic equality is key for fighting systematic racism. Creating a safe place that people can happily live has many benefits, not just an inspiring equality. For one thing, demonstrating that we care can attract more people, leading to increased funding and donations that can put into more lavish projects and paychecks. Novak Education 2024 finds that inclusive schools have many great benefits for students and teachers, which leads to higher grades and performance. This all ties together for great economic outcomes that greatly benefit our district. See, when more educated students are able to come out of the district, it increases the school's national rankings, making it more desirable for people, which obviously want their kids to get good education. Asian households can also contribute to the national rankings. Our families are incredibly intelligent and heavily encourage learning with our students. This is not hypothetical. For many Asian families in our district have a master's degree. This is the truth. You can literally ask any Asian parent here and they'll tell you they do. Enforcement education will lead to obviously the growth in national school rankings. This interaction, including from the inclusivity interaction, leads to more people moving to the area, which ultimately leads to higher property prices. And this especially benefits house owners, especially ones with mortgages, which will release higher home equity. This can be leveraged through equity loans, lines of debt, and cash out refinances to finance major expenses like home improvements, college tuition, or debt consolidation. Higher property tax profits can be put into investment in things like police departments, improving our schools' educational environment and funding, which is crucial and beneficial to our school. Thus, encouraged to set a powerful precedent that greatly benefits our school, I strongly encourage you to support. Thank you.
Thank you, Oscar.
Thank you. Next is Anna Chang.
So the rule says to state my name and address, right?
That's correct, yes.
My name is Anna Chang, and I live in Basking Ridge, 40 Ridgeview Drive. I do not attend Ridge, but I attended the middle school before Ridge. I currently attend Rutgers Preparatory School, but I live in Masking Ridge, so yeah. So I currently attend an out-of-district school, but I want to show my support for adding Lunar New Year to the Bernards Township school calendar. And as it was said before, other nearby districts like Warren and Bridgewater, they already give the students the day off for Lunar New Year, or other schools, they mainly celebrate Lunar New Year. I remember in WAMS last year, we got a half day off, even if it was not the full day for schedule, we got a half day off for the students. We didn't have to stay the whole day. Lunar New Year is a very important holiday because in China you have 2 weeks. You have 2 weeks to celebrate. Here, most of the schools celebrate, but Ridge does not. Students usually have off for Diwali, for Easter, other holidays. A lot of students get off. My school, we still provide celebration for Lunar New Year. And Lunar New Year is basically when families gather, children are allowed to visit relatives because family is really important in Chinese culture. And I think including the culture would benefit the student, especially since there's a large population of Asian students at Ridge. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you, Anna. Next is Kaiyang Ji.
Yes. Can you hear me all right?
Yes.
All right. Hi. Good evening, board members, superintendent, and all the participants of this meeting. I'm here as the same as many of the participants here to advocate for adding the Lunar New Year as a school holiday. And I just want to start by quoting our BOE president's was said in the last BOE meeting, which really touched me. It was said that we as a board are equally committed to doing all that we can to support everyone and to ensure that our district stays as wonderful as it is. So the reason I'm here is respectfully to ask you to complete this commitment by including Lunar New Year as a school holiday. And I wanted to say, begin by thanking you, because I know our school district already recognized Yom Kippur, Diwali, Eid al-Fitr, right? By doing that, this board has already affirmed that when a significant portion of our community observes a deeply important day, our schools respect that, right? This policy recognizes the reality. High absenteeism disrupts learning. And more importantly, it tells every student and their family and their faith belong here. So I don't want to replicate what has already been said, but I want to address a specific concern that I've heard in the past discussions. There was a operational concern that was raised about needing to extend the school calendar by one more day. My analysis of the next 2 decades shows adding Lunar New Year would have a negligible impact on the school end day due to the existing flexible design of our calendar. And I want to share that analysis with you tonight. There are following key points. First is the high occurrence on weekends. So over the next 20 years, Lunar New Year actually falls on the weekend 6 times, nearly 30%, meaning that it would not require an extra school closure day. Second is the building buffer. The 3 holidays that I mentioned that's already recognized by the school district, in 14 of those 20 years, next 20 years, one or more of those holidays naturally falls a weekend, about 70% of the time. That means adding Lunar New Year simply can use its existing unused flexibility most of the time, right? Third point is minimal extension. So in the handful years that an extra day may be needed, and my estimate shows it's about 10% of the time, and possibly in 2039 and 2042, the extension is minimal. This is because it typically would fall, add another single weekday to the end of the year. It does not push the end date into a new week, Right. So in summary, the calendar mechanism, I think our school district design is very robust. The data proves that the concern about significantly disrupting vacation plans, summer camps, or internships is not supported by the data. So I think we're left with one simple choice, right? We can use the smart, flexible system you have already have in place to affirm the inclusion of a growing part of our community, or we can withhold that affirmation based on the operational concern that the data has shown is not a real barrier. I'm happy to share the analysis with the BOE members through email. And I think this is the final logical step in your own policy of respect. You have the precedent, you have the data. Now I urge you to have the vision as well. Please give our Asian American students the same respect you've already granted others, and add the Lunar New Year to the school calendar. Thank you.
Thank you, Kai-Yang.
Thank you. Next is Kai Ni.
Hey, hello everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so my name is Kai. I live in Basking Ridge at 11 Wellington Drive. So yeah, thank you very much. Good evening, the members of the Board of Education, Ms. Makarian, and all the people joining for this call. Thank you for the opportunities. I'm here basically just want to respectfully request that the board to designate the Lunar New Year as one of the official school holidays in our school district, because this actually matters deeply to us as a member of a diverse and growing communities, right? So in Bernard's, Lunar New Year isn't just a date on the calendar. For many of us, like myself, it is one of our most vital traditions. So every year, our family gathered together, puts all the festival decorations, and prepare the feast. It's time for us to wish the good luck and a fresh start. It's about the family binding and the heritage for that, right? So I think also this isn't just who celebrates those kind of things. Recognize such a day is lesson for all the respect for all our students, so they can prepare for them. It's the world outside, much larger than our current town and borders. So we also actually see the community support is already there. A recent petition has gathered over 700 signatures from all the neighbors from all different backgrounds. This shows that our community really already respects those traditions. Now we just need a calendar to catch that up, right? So we have already heard the concern that the school calendar is full, but we are not asking for more days off. We just want to asking for fair distribution of holidays we already recognize, one that actually reflects the students sitting in our classroom, in our communities every day, right? So at least we believe it is possible to do so without harming any academic goals. For example, we want to suggest placing the Lunar New Year into the same culture holiday pools as all other observances, right? If the total number of holidays must stay fixed, then let's please rotate them. It's simply not acceptable to recognize certain culture holidays every single year, while others are never recognized at all. So this is on behalf of my family and all hundreds of others who share this tradition. I urge the Board of Education to try to think about that and make this change. Let's create a calendar truly belongs to everyone. Thank you very much for your time and your service to our children. Thank you.
Thank you, Kai.
Next is Evelyn Zhu.
Okay, yay. Let me put my hand down. Hi, everyone. My name is Evelyn Shi. My address is 61 Butternut Lane, and currently I'm a freshman at Ridge. So today, like everyone else, I want to talk about Lunar New Year, which is a discussion that has come up in multiple board meetings recently. And so today, in the past few speeches, we've already heard a lot of the numbers. You've heard the number of students that celebrate Lunar New Year, about other schools nearby that recognize Lunar New Year, and the logistics and how this would actually work in practice. And everyone's already done an incredible job of laying that all out and figuring out how to implement this reform. So I'm not here to repeat that. And today, I just want to talk about what recognizing Lunar New Year actually means. Because, of course, Lunar New Year requires us to gather with our families, even across long distances, and start the new year with hope. But what I think could be the most important factor here is respect. So, to prove my point, I would like to tell a story. I told this story at the first board meeting where I first brought up having Lunar New Year at a holiday, and I'm going to tell it again just so everyone else here can also hear it. 2 years ago, when I was in 7th grade, New York passed a piece of legislation that mandated all public schools to recognize the New Year. So 2 years ago, I was following this development, and I just happened to search it up in class one day, and I was really happy to find out that New York passed the mandate. But I was completely shocked when this student next to me started laughing, and she said mockingly, "Lunar New Year was already on a weekend this year." So the thing is, I knew that. That's not the reason that I wanted New York to pass the mandate. That comment has stayed with me for 2 years, not because it was just cruel, but it was simply dismissive. And it made me realize that this whole debate isn't really about whether I have the ability to celebrate Lunar New Year or not. It's about whether our culture is taken seriously at all. Because I'm a freshman in high school now. So even if the board decides to recognize Lunar New Year this year, students like me and Oscar won't even be affected. And Anna, who spoke earlier, like she doesn't even attend our school, yet she's still advocating for this, which should tell you that this isn't just about our personal convenience. It's about the principle of the thing, where I shouldn't have to justify why our traditions matter. And recognizing Lunar New Year is just choosing respect and choosing visibility for the Asian students in our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Evelyn.
That's everyone with their hands up, Ms. White.
Okay. Mr. Markarian, do you want to respond in any way, Danny?
I appreciate everyone's comments. Thank you for joining us tonight, being a part of our virtual Snowmageddon meeting. We really appreciate hearing what people have to say on any topic. This one obviously passionate for many speakers tonight, so thanks for sharing your thoughts. And as Ms. White indicated, we are working on this question with our policy committee, which tonight was just reformed for the 2026 school year. So we'll follow up, reporting out to the rest of the board as we work on this. Thank you very much.
Okay, that brings us to the approval of minutes. Can I get a motion on that?
I motion, Dave.
Brett and Smriti, and a roll call.
Ms. White,
Yes.
Mr. Molinari,
Yes.
Ms. Corrado,
Yes.
Mr. Shaw,
Yes.
Mr. Talbot,
Yes.
Mr. Omalanek,
Yes.
Ms. Mohan,
Yes.
and Mr. Lefkowitz.
Yes.
Okay, we're up to finance, and there are 17 items, but Dave, do you want to do the report first from this December meeting?
Yeah, I'll mention a couple items and I'll do the
Okay.
report real quick. So really 3 items I wanted to bring up to everyone's attention. I'll start with number 9 is direct install. We got approved for that, so very happy about that. That'll save us a lot of money. So what that is and Jim, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think it's 14 rooftop units that we're going to be able to replace. Total cost is $340,000, but as part of this program, we get an incentive of $196,000 that will be paid for us. So in total, it costs about $143,000. What the difference is for this direct install from prior ones is that it's actually going to be paid through JCP&L through the utility over 5 years, I believe. And Jim, correct me on that, but it'll be paid for every single month throughout the term of this. The next 2 items are awarded for contractors. So one is number 8 is the track. That's been awarded to ATT Sports at $840,000. And then number 10, the Cedar Hill roof, redoing that, was awarded to TNT Construction for $2.4 million. Those two are both awarded slightly under our budget, so those are a win for us. So I'll stop there for a second, Jim, if any of you wanted to mention before I go to my report.
No, all good. The only one thing is the direct install. The 5-year financing is at 0% interest.
Thank you.
For 5 years.
Yeah, that's great. And then as far as the committee meeting, so it was the meeting from December 12th that I'm looking at that was approved. The first item we discussed was health costs, which we're doing every single month right now because it's really the biggest topic. Sorry, I just got to move my camera thing here. And November claims continued to come in about what we were expecting, but overall, really the biggest thing I want to mention, and it came up again at this past meeting, was that we're expecting healthcare costs to increase about 15.9, 16% next year. That is the biggest driver of our budget for next year and is really our biggest problem that we're dealing with. So we've really been looking at that cost every single meeting to see what we can do about that. So we continue to look at that and look at what the impact is going to be on our potential levy and increases for next year's budget. The second item we had reviewed was a draft of the audit. The committee reviewed the draft for fiscal year June 30th, 2025. The results are a clean opinion. There was a minor item that was noted related to the implementation of a new accounting standard for accrued sick and vacation time. This change impacts financial reporting only and has no impact on the budget. And then there's 2 minor audit recommendations that were also discussed, one related to the application process for state school aid, and one related to documentation of county superintendent review of contracts. Both items have already been addressed and corrected, and I believe they're one of the items we're voting on as well this time. The third item we discussed was Mashio sales comparison analysis to last year's, and the committee reviewed the food service sales comparison and noted that Mashio sales are tracking as expected and are slightly higher than Aramark's results from the prior year. So we're taking into account, how are sales going, and do we think Mashio's is doing better or worse than Aramark, so we can look at that in future years. Next item, the committee continued its review of district reserves, which remains generally consistent with prior months. As anticipated, the fund balance is expected to be lower than the prior year due to its use in the current budget and will need to be addressed in the next budget cycle. The committee also discussed forward-looking budget planning, including identifying opportunities for additional revenues, reducing or controlling expenses where possible, limiting position replacements when staff leave the district. Debt service considerations were reviewed at a high level. The committee is awaiting additional information regarding the timing and scope of future capital projects before making further recommendations, which we got at this last meeting that I'll report at next time. And the last item, the committee discussed IRS Notice 2024-02 and its potential implications for employee benefit plans, including requirements related to reportable transactions and tax shelter disclosures. The role of a third-party administrator, TPA, was reviewed, including responsibilities related to compliance, reporting, and coordination with advisors. Administration will present an option for the district's TPA to ensure ongoing compliance. No immediate action was required at the time. And that's the report.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions, board members, for Dave? Okay, can I get a motion? Dave and Keith, and a roll call.
Ms. White,
Yes.
Mr. Molinari,
Yes.
Ms. Corrado,
Yes.
Mr. Shaw,
Yes.
Mr. Talbot,
Yes.
Mr. Omelanik,
Yes.
Ms. Mohan,
Yes.
and Mr. Lefkowitz.
Yes.
Okay, that brings us to personnel. Mr. Syatt, do you have anything that you wanted to report out on for Ms. McKeon?
I can give a quick update on the minutes from the December 19th meeting.
Okay.
So the Personnel Committee met on December 19th. We first discussed, as we always do this time of year, the staffing picture for the 26-27 school year, the beginning, of course, of that conversation. And we specifically discussed looking at the upcoming retirements of BTEA members per the provision in the BTA contract relative to sick day payout. And so, as evidenced on the agenda tonight, we do have quite a few members of the BTEA retiring. I think we have 9 on the agenda tonight. That represents more than we had all of last year. The next item we talked about was the track team and the track coaches and filling the necessary track coach positions. The third item I can't report out on. The fourth item, we talked about PM supervision at Ridge. Now that we don't have the media center open to students, there is a 1.5 hour a day staff supervision need. So that was posted, and we are having staff for 1.5 hours a day in the cafeteria and the main entrance to Ridge High School, who are monitoring student behavior and making sure that we've got supervision. Camp Jumpstart was also discussed. There has not been an increase for the staff in 15 years. So we did look at a slight adjustment to the staff pay for that program. And so we anticipate a very small increase then for parents, around $20 total increase for Camp Jumpstart as a result. And then that is all for the December 19th minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
All right, so there are 29 items. May I have a motion? Brett and Mike, and a roll call.
White,
Yes.
Mr. Molinari,
Yes.
Ms. Corrado,
Yes.
Mr. Shaw,
Yes.
Mr. Talbot,
Yes.
Mr. Omalanik,
Yes.
Ms. Mohan,
Yes.
Mr. Lefkowitz.
Yes.
Okay, we're up to policy. There is one item, but there's also a report. Mike, do you want to give the report first?
Yes. So we met on January 8th, and some things we talked about was the policy R5530 for the substance abuse. We kept the words district physicians, but we're adding nurses to receive the reports as well. We worked on the guidelines for the use of sound systems and lighting on the BTSD athletic facilities, facilities for BTSD sponsored athletic and co-curricular activities, P7511. It currently says students are never permitted to operate PA systems with or without presence of school staff. We changed the wording to students are never permitted to operate PA systems without the presence of school staff. Also added to the policy, the use of privately owned sound equipment during PTSD sponsored student activities shall be conducted in a manner that is reasonable and considerate of neighboring properties and shall not generate excessive, inappropriate, and or disruptive noise. The school year calendar, we're still in discussion. We'll be talking more about this in the February meeting. And also the policy alert for 236, based on federal policy, the entire chapter NJAC, fiscal accountability, efficiency, and budgeting procedures was recently revised and adopted by the State Board of Education. The revisions in NJAC 6A23A affect many policy and regulation guidelines. Accordingly, minor language changes were necessary to update statutory references for the nepotism and CSA policies below. The sexual harassment policy was completely redone to capture necessary procedures for federal Title IX. The old sexual harassment policies are abolished. And so we'll be talking about some more details, at the next February meeting. But that's the report.
Okay. Anybody have any questions for Brett? I'm sorry, for Mike. Okay. Can I get a motion? Keith and Smirthy, and roll call.
Ms. White,
Yes.
Mr. Molinari,
Yes.
Ms. Corrado,
Yes.
Mr. Shaw,
Yes.
Mr. Talbot,
Yes.
Mr. Omelanik,
Yes.
Ms. Mohan,
Yes.
and Mr. Lefkowitz.
Yes.
Okay, we're up to curriculum. There is one item and there is a report. Janice, you want to give the report?
Did you say curriculum? That would
Yes.
be Keith.
Yeah, I read out. This is my last one, Jen.
Oh, sorry.
Last one.
All right, this is from January 9th before we put the new structure in. But there are items for board agenda tonight. One is a change in course title. It's Dance 1 to Dance 1 Musical Theater Dance. It's really just a course name change with a larger focus on the musical theater genre of music. Also honors Heritage Spanish Speaker 1. Kathy Stoller spoke to this at the meeting. It's for students who speak Spanish at home. The course is in essence a Spanish literacy workshop for grammar, literature, etc. It was a CP course, it's now becoming an honors level course to reflect where most of the majority of students would place in the course. The course does require a placement test. Those are on the agenda. Discussion items at the curriculum meeting. Took some look at a change at a glance for 2026 to 2027. Mr. Holmer talked about math seminar and transitioning toward making it optional. Students can elect to take seminar or opt out, if placed in the course. There are updated entry requirements for AP Computer Science. Students in CP Pre-Calc can now level down to Algebra 3 Trigonometry. There is now a formalized option for students to double up geometry and enriched algebra. What this does is offer certain students an opportunity to end their high school career with calculus who otherwise would not have reached that level of mathematics. We talked about scheduling for 2026 to 2027. The committee received a pre-launch view of the scheduling website, which went live a couple days ago. Stephanie Smith reviewed academic planning schedule coming up, and there was discussion around dual enrollment courses, the level of students enrolled, and the amount of effort that goes into working with outside institutions for dual enrollment. Opportunities for different categories of students to earn college credits was also discussed. We covered the class size report for 25 to 26. Cedar Hill is the only building with a significant increase in enrollment. Discussion around options to alleviate crowding at Cedar Hill included the flexible enrollment zone and the incoming kindergarten class. Overall, though, class size averages are consistent among all elementary schools and well within policy parameters. Class sizes at Ridge and WAMS did go up slightly last year, due in part to reductions. Special ed class sizes largely stayed consistent. We covered tutor.com and the usage report, and usage on tutor.com peaked September to October, declined by December. The price is going to go up to approximately $9,000 if the district wants to renew it for next year. The district is negotiating this, and there was discussion around ways to measure this program's effectiveness beyond just utilization rates. There was an updated mathematics criteria document. Mr. Holmer spoke to updated math criteria in regards to accelerated math. Specific qualifying scores for accelerated math 5, accelerated middle school math, and algebra 1 will be updated. In essence, the district is shifting eligibility scores for enhanced math qualification to maintain the same academic rigor from previous years due to changes in the New Jersey Student Learning Assessment, the NJSLA, and the MAP assessment. Qualifying numbers from previous years will not exactly line up with the new required scores, but the actual academic qualifications have not changed. And that was the curriculum report.
Thanks. Anybody have a question for Keith? Okay, then can I get a motion? Janice, Dave, and a roll call.
Ms. White,
Yes.
Mr. Molinari,
Yes.
Ms. Corrado,
Yes.
Mr. Shaw,
Yes.
Mr. Talbot,
Yes.
Mr. Omelanik,
Yes.
Ms. Mohan,
Yes.
and Mr. Lefkowitz.
Yes.
Okay, we're up to wellness. Janice, that's you.
That is me. I do have a report. This is from the December 18th meeting. In terms of elementary schools, we met with the Mount Prospect Student Council. fourth and fifth grade students. Among the activities students most enjoy there are games during indoor recess, intramurals, the Continental Math League, and band and orchestra. Students also like spending time with their preschool buddies. Some of their suggestions for the coming year include meeting twice a month with buddy classes rather than once a month, and creating a Super Bowl soup collection in February to support local food banks. Students gave a thumbs up to the new cafeteria menu items offered by Mashio's, noting the greater variety of foods available with lots of vegetarian options. Theme days such as Ramen Day are very popular. They also like the wide variety of cookies and ice cream available. Fifth grade students are excited to learn more about William Allen. They ask questions about the school and are looking forward to learning more about sixth grade in the spring. With regard to middle school, Ms. Hudak presented the results of the William Allen School Scheduling Survey. It was a survey conducted of both staff and students on scheduling, including Learning Lab and Viking Voices periods. Currently, both are scheduled in the morning, Learning Lab every Wednesday, Viking Voices twice a month on Thursdays. Teachers expressed a preference for continuing these meetings in the morning as they have more energy at the start of the day and students are more focused than in the afternoons. Teachers also would prefer to have a daily 20-minute session rather than 36-minute periods on a rotating schedule. Students who took the survey would like to have Learning Lab time more than once a week. They currently use this time for a variety of purposes. 90% meet with teachers for extra help or to complete tests. 87% use the time for studying, and some students choose to engage in more fun, movement-based activities during that time. Discussions during team meetings help to identify students who would benefit from targeted instruction during Learning Lab time, similar to the elementary What I Need model. William Allen will continue to offer the sixth grade executive functioning cycle class, and staff will be rewriting that curriculum this summer. The school is again offering after-school intervention this year, thanks to federal funding. The Viking Voices Staff Committee is working on revising their curriculum to make it more interactive and engaging for students. Scheduling will be a part of those discussions. In addition to questions about Learning Lab and Viking Voices, the survey also elicited staff responses on sectioning, pull-out programs, team prep, and collaboration periods. The survey results will be shared with staff in their February faculty meeting. Ms. Hudak also updated the committee on the next phase of professional development for WAM staff who had not been trained in the use of restorative practices during the 24-25 school year. Teachers who have been trained are leading this turnkey effort by facilitating faculty meetings as community circles. Teacher trainers are developing a list of questions so that Greg Lucas of Joy Roots can provide periodic support on restorative circles as they are implemented school-wide. At the high school, Ridge Principal Dr. Lazovic provided an update on the Hello Project, Talk Kind. This is the second phase of the Hello Project. Talk Kind was started in the first marking period this year to reinforce the use of appropriate language among students in gaggle chats and messaging. Although students are very respectful when speaking with teachers and staff, some students are using inappropriate and hurtful language with one another. Ridge administrators want students to understand that they run the risk of severe consequences at the college level, including being expelled, if they are found to engage in the use of this type of language. Ms. Howarth shared that the goal of the Talk Kind initiative is to raise awareness among three groups: students, teachers, and parents. Information on the Talk Kind initiative will be shared through the Restoring Focus website throughout the course of the year. There also was an update on artificial intelligence. Many parents have expressed interest in helping their students understand and demonstrate how AI can positively impact their learning, important for both college and career success. Dr. Lazovic shared that a Restoring focused parent evening on artificial intelligence will be scheduled soon, and details shared on the Ridge website as well as through the Friday folder. The committee also discussed in-school suspensions. Ms. Howarth shared research indicating that in-school suspensions better support student education by maintaining academic engagement, ensuring access to instructional staff, and allowing timely behavioral and counseling interventions. Research shows that compared to out-of-school suspension, in-school suspension minimizes learning loss while holding students accountable in a structured, supportive environment. The Ridge administrative team is discussing the operational implications of possibly moving to include in-school suspension. More serious infractions will still continue to incur out-of-school suspensions at the discretion of the administration. The committee is supportive of this effort and looks forward to hearing updates in future meetings. The next Wellness Committee meeting is scheduled for Thursday, February 26th.
Thanks, Janice. Anybody have a question for Janice? Okay. I believe facilities and ops did not meet, correct? Okay. And my hunch is that because of the start of the new year, that none of the liaison committees have reports yet. Okay. So that brings us to public comment on non-agenda items. So if there's something that you would like to speak about, raise. I see a hand already. Ms. Fox.
Yeah, Dave Yastrzemski raised his hand. Go ahead and unmute yourself, Dave.
Thank you. Okay, this past weekend, the Ridge Forensics team hosted the 23rd annual Ridge Invitational, which turned out to be the largest one-day tournament in New Jersey history, welcoming over 1,000 students and 400 adults representing 61 schools from 4 different states. The students competed at Ridge, Cedar Hill, and Mount Prospect. In this past December, we hosted the 21st annual Ridge Debates, a 2-day event which welcomed 600 students and 300 adults from 8 different states to Ridge and Cedar Hill. I just want to emphasize how these events are absolutely vital to the viability of our team. MJ mentioned earlier that our students participated in 3 different states last weekend. New Jersey at Freehold, in Massachusetts, in Lexington, and at Durham, North Carolina, where our students achieved a great level of success and notoriety. By hosting these events, the costs of attending these national competitions are significantly reduced for our families and school, and hence, we're able to provide more opportunities for our students to rise to the national stage. This is my 30th year serving Bernards Township, and my 29th year of directing the Ridge Forensics Speech and Debate program. And we've been hosting events for nearly 25 years. I speak tonight to acknowledge the wonderful support that our team receives from the entire Bernards Township school community when we host these events. Dr. Lazovic, Ms. Uller, and Dr. Hosny have been more than hospitable and accommodating when I reach out to them every year, asking them for rooms and space in their buildings. Their assistant principals and support staff have been phenomenal in coordinating the communication with their staff, as well as Aramark in their buildings. And speaking of, I cannot ask more from our Aramark staff. In order to provide space for our guests to be comfortable, Aramark sets up dozens of tables and hundreds of chairs in different configurations in gyms and hallways and in lobbies. In addition, they help us with the many deliveries leading up to our events, including many boxes of trophies, concessions, and other hospitality supplies. In the buildings, we use virtually every space we can find. Our staff, including administration and guidance, security, and SACs, have always been welcoming and providing their offices so we can provide more space for more students to come to Basking Ridge and compete in our events. Our own teachers help prepare for our events by securing their classrooms, including some valuable classroom items and making sure that the classrooms are ready when our guests arrive. But not to end there. Our supervisors have also been helpful. Mr. Fackelman actually came in late on Saturday, so we were able to still use the lecture halls before the snowstorm. Our supervisors have always allowed us to use their spaces and always offer words of encouragement as I pass them in the hallways. And when I speak to other hosts of events from other schools and districts, they do not receive the same support. As a matter of fact, they experience hurdles, bureaucracy, and red tape that makes their work for their students even more difficult. I also want to specifically mention Mr. Mancino. Mr. Mancino has been so helpful in providing us the space in the gym so we can fit everyone. And this past Saturday, the Ridge Track program actually moved their practice to 7 a.m. in the morning so we can be open and ready for business. Thanks to those students and coaches of Ridge Track, as well as all the fall and winter sports, along with Ridge Drama, who modify their schedules so we can host our events. Finally, while the rest of the world was out buying all the milk, bread, and peanut butter in our supermarkets, our parents and our students were at our schools, judging rounds, selling concessions, serving our guests, cleaning up, and straightening up. So the rooms are ready for class tomorrow. And they're making sure that every visiting student, coach, parent, bus driver, everyone who attends our events at Ridge leaves with an educational and amazing experience. Again, many of my colleagues across the state endure insufferable bureaucracy when trying to raise the funds so their students can achieve their very best. Bernards Township's community, which includes this entire Board of Education and Central Office Administration, have always continued to be so supportive of our program. And I wanted to take this opportunity tonight to thank you and the school community for helping us train the next generation of great thinkers and speakers, not just in the Bernards Township community, but all across New Jersey and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Stemsky. Is there anybody else who has a hand raised?
Yeah, there's one more.
Okay.
Faisal Chaudhry.
Hi, this is Faisal Chaudhry. I live in 95 Woods End. First, I wanted to just congratulate Mr. Molinari, Mr. Lefkowitz, and Ms. Mohan on your election. Good luck. Also to Mr. Yastromensky, sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. My kids are also in the Summer Forensics program, so it's a great program for building self-confidence. So I really wanted to thank you and everybody for that opportunity for them to do it in the summer. My question is mainly out of curiosity, considering that we had a snow day today. What is the strategy for using remote learning in such situations, considering that if we end up having multiple snow days, the risk possibility is that you may have to take away a vacation or a holiday, such as winter break or spring break. So I just wanted to understand what the thinking is around using remote learning as a tool to continue with education and have a school day. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Chaudhry. There's anybody else for? I don't see anybody, but do you see? Okay.
Sorry, no, that's it.
Okay, then I will close public comment. Nick, do you want to address anything?
Sure. So as far as remote for a snow day, it's not something that we can do unless there are certain exceptional circumstances. The one-off days are not an option for us. So we do have the one day at the end of the February break, which is now going to have to be a school day because we had a snow day today. If we have any other snow days over the winter, we'll have to add them to the end of the school year. And certainly, I hope that isn't too many. With respect to Mr. Yastremski's comments, obviously, I couldn't agree more. He's very humble and did not mention his own incredible amount of work that he puts into this. So in addition to thanking everyone that he mentioned, I'd like to thank Dave. He's just unbelievable. I got a random phone call over the weekend, just singing his praises, totally random. And the person was describing to me how amazing Dave is, how amazing the forensics team is, and looking forward to going to a competition where Ridge was not competing, so they'd have a chance to actually win something. That was a really funny phone call, but they were joking but very sincere about the forensics program at Ridge. It really is a one-of-a-kind entity. So thanks to Dave and all the staff that really, as he mentioned, you just can't pull off those kinds of huge events without a ton of help. So really appreciate the staff, the kids, the families, and what they put into that pretty special program. So that's it. Thanks.
Thanks. That brings us to board form. I have two items. The first, I just want to point out that this was supposed to be a BT Connect. And so, Mr. McCarron, are we postponing it to February 9th? Okay, so we'll have a.
Yep, February 9th. That's the topic is AI. We were going to do it tonight, but we just wanted to be able to do it in person. So we're going to push it back to February 9th.
So we'll do board business first, and then we'll move to the BT Connect, and it will be in the cafeteria.
Right.
The second thing is we just approved all of the committee assignments, and I just wanted to just review. Things come up all the time, and you find that there's a meeting that you can't make. We have lots of board members willing and able to be alternates. So as much as possible, if you know well in advance, reach out to the chair of your committee and the administrator associated with your committee as well, to let them know. And then hopefully we can get a fourth person. But even if it's something that comes up the day before, still reach out, because we can usually pull somebody to get them fully with the 4 members that we can have. And because we do have some relatively, new or people who haven't had an opportunity to be on different committees, it's a great opportunity to be able to sit in something that you don't belong to when somebody can't make it. So never feel shy about speaking up and that you have to miss a committee. It's a good learning opportunity for everybody else. Does anybody else have anything for board forum? Okay, then I will ask for a motion to adjourn. Smearthy and Keith. Stay warm, everybody.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Right.
Bye.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
me. Stop thinking about that. Under relief or loaning. 1,000 completed and positioned for a comeback. Need to meet with 4 cheese manicotti. Break the extension for their phone. Starting at $12.99. This is green. Your hair stops holding you back. You wear it down. And for the first time in a while, you like the way your part is rolling. That shift doesn't happen overnight.